I'm really proud of this book because it's not just OJ. There's a lot of other stories. There's an amazing story about Michael Jordan and how Frank Robinson told me he was actually suspended incognito by the NBA for gambling when he was out of the NBA for a year. This is Frank Robinson from Major League Baseball, the guy that made 500-something home runs. I have stories about my dealings with Howard K. Stern and the Adam Nicole situation when I had the diaries. I have the whole untold story of the FBI and the Operation Bullpen incident back in 1999 about how the FBI hired a forensic expert who was also hired by the forgers to authenticate their stuff. But this guy put dozens of people in prison, and he couldn't even authenticate an autograph. But based on his testimony, he put people in prison. Also, the FBI was hiring forgers to catch dealers dealing in fake items, and they put those forged items into the marketplace, thousands of items, and there was victims that were buying this stuff because the FBI was in cahoots with the forgers in order to catch dealers dealing in fake items. They commissioned these forgers. I have the whole story about how that happened, and just so many other things in my memorabilia business and in my personal life. A lot of ups and downs in my life, and I'm real proud of the end result and where I am now in my life. My business is very successful in where I've come. I think the book turned out well, and the response has been that too. So I'm real happy.
Okay, excellent. And then a question about what do you expect to happen in September? You were saying that you were hoping to have this book come out at the same time as the trial. The trial's been postponed to September. What is your expectation of the outcome in September?
For a long time, I've been telling people I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, I don't want to say, but my publishers have asked me to make a prediction and say what should happen, so I might as well give it to you too. I think if, in fact, OJ knew there were guns in the room, he should spend, I think there was a crime committed, he probably should spend some prison time. I mean, we have laws against that, you don't go in, but if he didn't know there were guns, maybe the way it escalated and went to what it was, he should probably get some kind of misdemeanor and probation if he didn't know there were guns. What do I think will happen? My personal opinion, from people coming up to me, literally hundreds of people coming up to me, educated reporters, most of them tell me, hey, I think OJ did the murders, but I don't think he did anything here. I'm thinking he either gets acquitted, which is a smaller chance, but I mostly think, my prediction, I bet I'm right, and I have several bets on it, is I'm thinking that he gets a hung jury. So, I mean, that's my prediction. I think that no jury will find it either way. That's my guess. I don't know anything, but I'm guessing it's going to be a hung jury. I don't think they'll ever come to the conclusion. Because so many people have their minds made up already that he's innocent or he's guilty, and there's not a majority either way. No matter how strongly they feel about him in the murders, there's a mixture of what they feel about this particular case.
Okay, now I have to play devil's advocate for a moment. Do you feel that you have any responsibility in the fact that OJ is having this?
Well, no. He asked me to help him get his stuff back. I did a deal with him to sign some books to do so. I fulfilled my end of the obligation. I was in no way involved. And as the gunman will tell you, as OJ said it, I was in no way involved in any plans to bring guns to my room. So whoever was responsible for that is responsible for that. It's not me. I had the tape recorder going for one reason. There was a psychopath nut in my room, and I wanted that documented because I didn't know what he might do. And the other guy he brought also had a gun permit. He could have had a gun. I was more afraid of them. In fact, he did have a gun in his car, and he regretted not bringing it into the room. It could have been a gun shootout if he did. So I was more in fear of Beardsley and whoever he might bring than, believe it or not, OJ and whoever he might bring. But it turned out the way it did. I have it documented. And you know what? I'm glad I did.
Okay, all right. And can you tell me quickly how you and OJ ended up in the same room this night?
There was a plan for OJ to show up after I told these guys I had a buyer for their stolen items. OJ was going to show up and identify the items and verify that they were his. OJ was going to tell them, look, either turn these items over to me or we're calling the police. And this all happened in my room, so I was in on it with OJ to come to the room to show him these items that we were told were stolen from his house, and in fact they were. Things went bad, guns came out, they ended up taking things that didn't belong to them on top of OJ's stuff. It didn't have to be that way. The guys were handing the stuff to OJ when the guys pulled out the guns and started taking other stuff and all that stuff. But it ended the way it is, and it is what it is. And I just got them.
That's great. Thank you so much.
We had a hit during the last call when the guys came in the room with the guns.
Okay. Can you start from the guys came in the room with the guns? I can ask you the whole question over again, and you can. I mean, it was a quick answer, so I can ask.
Sure.
How did you and OJ end up in the same room together?
Well, when OJ found out that there was stuff on the market that was stolen, it was coming to me, and he wanted the stuff back. We had this plan together to organize and let them know that there was a buyer, and then OJ himself was going to come in and identify the stuff as being his, if in fact it was, which it was, and then they were going to have two options: either turn the stuff over to OJ, or we were going to call the police. But instead, it went awry. People started pulling out guns, taking other things that didn't belong to them, and now we have 12 felony charges. When in fact they didn't have to do that. They were turning the stuff over. Everything was going as planned, and it turned into what it was, and we had this big case that we got.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you.